Happy New Year! Hey everybody, welcome back to Fantasy Sports Review. I'm Phil Hargis. It is good to see you guys again. Sorry we've had a little bit of a break here. You know, the playoffs have kind of gotten started here, but the studio's been closed and due to some technical difficulties. But we are back with you now, stronger and better than ever. We're actually going to deliver to you tonight a fantasy football draft live on the air. We're going to draft. The experts are going to do it here for you. We have the draft positions ready to rock and roll here. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to recap the wild card weekend of the NFL playoffs and preview the division championship weekends coming up. And we have a special Skype guest coming in from Neverlands out there somewhere. But let's go ahead and introduce everybody here that's in studio right now. Everybody, Happy New Year. It's good to see everybody here once again.
Happy New Year, guys.
For some fresh fantasy football
action. And I am
action.
so excited about the playoffs. I'm so excied for this mock fantasy draft.
You can tell. Very excited.
We're going to have so much fun tonight.
Yes. And
sounds like we're going to have a lot of fun. So it's good to be back. It's been a long layoff, but it's good to recap with some good football games. It's probably the best time of the year.
It is.
So you got 4 great games coming up, 8 teams that are all deserving to be there.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
Absolutely. I can see Santa Claus is very good. Robbie brought him a new sweater for Christmas, so we're glad to see him very well dressed here. As always, the Mr.
My New Year's
Nordstrom's over
resolution,
here.
actually, to dress nicer.
All right, you guys. And also we have a special Skype guest standing by, the very original and needs no introduction at all, really, but it is Doug Cook standing by on Skype from his destination down there somewhere warm. Doug, welcome to the show.
Hey, good to see y'all.
Hey, how's it going, man? What have you been doing? You've been hiding out down there? You're hanging out near some shades, enjoying some nice weather. You got a nice tan, a pleasant flush, perhaps?
Yeah, well, I went out of town.
All right, congratulations, and Merry New Year.
Yeah, Merry New Year, everybody. Good to see you again.
All right, you guys, wild card weekend happened last weekend. I mean, we had some big games. I mean, most of them were blowouts. What are your thoughts from wild card weekend? Let's start with Clara right here.
Tim Tebow. How about that?
All right.
And, you know, I wasn't a fan, but he proved himself, I think, this week. He had an awesome game. Demaryius Thomas had an awesome game. They crushed Pittsburgh. No one expected it. That was my favorite game this week, hands down.
And, Robbie, was that a surprise? I mean, this is a Pittsburgh team that's been banged up and bruised and beaten. I mean, Mendenhall gone, Roethlisberger firing at 50%.
Phil, number one defense in the NFL, though. You know, I mean.
That was not a surprise. I mean, I thought the Broncos were going to win at home. And plus, to be honest with you,
You're out of your mind.
You guys are both sniffing glue.
I thought the Broncos were going to win because there's no Mendenhall, no Ryan Clark.
Mendenhall sucked all year, though.
It doesn't matter. Their running back was gone. Anyways, yeah, Tim Tebow, I mean, obviously.
I'm a big believer in defense wins games, and Pittsburgh did not win.
Under 50%
so their
of his
defense
passes
did not win games.
And gets it done
Tim
at
Tebow,
home.
all the way, 360 yards.
60
Tim Tebow.
316, John, 316 yards.
Okay.
Doug, did you see this one coming? Doug Cook, any opinion at all?
Of course.
You saw it coming too?
Yes.
No.
Oh, did I see it coming? No, I thought the game could go either way, but there's something you gotta look out for when you have this team that finishes with a marginal record on top of their division that didn't have to win their last couple games of the season just to win the division and get to the playoffs. Phil, we saw this before with the Arizona Cardinals that went all the way to the Super Bowl and went to that Super Bowl, and they almost won it against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who everybody thought was an overwhelming favorite. When this team comes in, this marginal team, and no matter what the statistics are, they didn't really have to play the last couple games of the season. I mean, they slid back into the playoffs, and they were still there. They were clearly saving a few tricks in their bag just to win that first playoff game. Will they win another? Probably not.
Dagger.
We'll get to that. We'll get into our predictions here shortly. Okay, New Orleans over Detroit. I mean, everybody expected a shootout. We kind of got that, so no real big surprise there. But how about the Atlanta Falcons, you guys, showing up against the New York Giants and having absolutely nothing at all? What in the heck happened with those guys?
The Atlanta Falcons are terrible, by the way, and they've been doing it all season long. 4th and 1s, they can't get 1 yard, and their offensive coordinator gets promoted to be the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach. It's ridiculous.
Well,
I think.
and they predicted what happened. They said Matt Ryan cannot handle stadium noise. that was the reason why he apparently did so horribly, because he could not handle stadium noise. Come on, you're an NFL quarterback. That's no excuse.
Well, he's not 0-3 as a starter in the NFL and then playoffs. So if that could just go to show you what kind of quarterback that cast. I mean, it's what, just throw it all out there. That team had. I mean, they're fading quick. The last 4 games, they're 2-2, and they got crushed by the Saints going into the playoffs. They didn't beat any good teams. You said it first week that the Atlanta Falcons had an easy schedule. last year, and that this year they weren't gonna, they were, barely skate by, and they did.
But can we just say the New York Giants cannot be that good because the Washington Redskins beat them twice.
That's what I'm saying. And they went into the Meadowlands and beat them handily. So
Man, I can't wait to start arguing about this. Doug, your thoughts on the Atlanta game before we move on to the next one?
No thanks.
And then Houston explodes against the Cincinnati Bengals for 31 points. You mean, is this a team that's like starting to gel now with TJ Yates there, or is this just an aberration?
I think that the Houston Texans are a great team, actually. They can run the ball very efficiently. Aaron Foster and Ben Tate give them a good 1-2 punch.
For sure.
Andre Johnson, a little bit gimpy, but
Very
still,
gimpy in that game. Good
Still
point.
looked good though. Still made a few big catches.
And made some bad
Yates,
plays,
managed the game pretty well. So as a rookie quarterback, it's what you want to see. Kind of reminds me of Trent Dilfer. And the Houston Texans don't sleep on that defense. Number 1 in the NFL.
You can't sleep on those guys at all.
Brian Cushing getting it done.
I mean, it's crazy that, the AFC North, they had 3 teams make the playoffs. Cincinnati, they won a lot of clutch games, but then they lost. And again, the rookie quarterback, so.
All right, you guys. Well, I'm getting pretty excited. We haven't done this in many, many years. Doug, you probably remember the last draft we did on the air. I think it was actually a fantasy golf draft we did. But we're going to do a quick 4-person mock NFL fantasy playoff draft here. I've got the playoff positions right here in my hands. I'm going to let everybody choose a position there. Clara, Robbie, you can choose first. Clara will choose. I'll choose. This one is for Doug. Doug, I'm going to open yours first here. Doug, you've got the 4th overall pick. I'm sure you're not surprised by that at all.
Well,
I swear that is 4, though. You can't accuse me of cheating.
I'm not surprised, Phil, but at least
Are you rolling your eyes?
given that there's
For
only
that?
4 people playing this draft, that's pretty good because there's only 4 players worth drafting. So each of us will get one of those players.
So you get 2 of the best players. So I got number 2. Robbie must have 3 over there.
That's smart. Florida State degree kicking in.
And then Doug has 4. So the rules of this are very simple. They're WCOF scoring rules. You get points per reception and performance-based scoring system here. It's very standard. The roster will be a little bit abbreviated, though, because we are down to the final 8 teams. You're going to be able to draft 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a kicker, a defense, and that will be it. That's the roster. Clara, you get to lead things off. And this, just so you guys know, it's not going to be like a 1 week and then done. We're drafting based on the premise that you get whatever players you draft today will be your team through the entire Super Bowl. So, if you think that a team's going to advance to the Super Bowl here, those are the guys you want. You want your whoever you think.
Thanks, Phil.
And
We got it.
We'll save those for later on.
Let's get
Do you
to the,
understand the rules, Smarty?
I think we got it. Thank you.
All right. Is your first pick going to be Tim Tebow by any chance?
It is not.
Oh, well, I
I
think.
love him to death. But my first pick will be the best quarterback in the NFL, Mr. Drew Brees.
All right, Drew Brees goes to Clara.
bad pick.
Terrible pick.
Okay.
I'll take
Really?
in interest of time, I'll take Tom Brady. So that means, Robbie, it'll be your pick.
I'm going to take a guy named Drew Brees.
He's
Oh, you already picked her? Oh, never mind. Oh, geez, I'm sorry.
So Doug must be
yeah.
getting pretty
You just
excited here.
had a
I don't
terrible
know.
pick, and then you want to go with Drew Brees?
Whatever.
Really? You thought I said Tim Tebow.
I did.
The shirt.
Wait,
It was the
what?
shirt. Sorry.
Breeze and Brady are gone, Robbie. Let's make this.
All right, I'm taking Ray Rice.
Okay. Here, Doug,
I totally just spaced out there. I
the
guess.
back door is
I thought you
wide
take
open
Tim
for
Tebow
you.
when You said it.
No.
Breeze, Brady, and Rice are off the board. You can draft whoever you want to with your 4th and 5th pick.
Oh, really?
You must be pretty excited here.
I get the 4th and pick. I'm going to do the parlay here. I'm going to do a Green Bay parlay. I'm going to take Jordy Nelson and Aaron Rodgers, and I don't care which one is first.
Oops. Okay, so you got Rodgers and Jordy Nelson, the red hot Jordy Nelson. Very exciting.
All right, looks like I'm next. I'm going to take
It's getting pretty exciting now.
Eli Manning.
Okay. You know you could have waited until the final round of the draft to take a quarterback at this point. Very smart drafting, Robbie. Nobody else can draft a quarterback. You could have literally waited to the last round to make that selection. But you'll learn these things one of these days.
No, I'm taking it.
I want to take Eli Manning.
All right, so so now it's gonna be Phil's pick. Phil's pretty excited about this pick, and he's been good to me so far. I love these guys, and well, now I'm gonna think about adjusting my strategy on the fly here because of the way this draft is shaping up. And I was originally going to draft this one player, but now that I see the way this is going, I'm thinking about going ahead and drafting
Phil, it's
Okay.
only a half-hour show.
Arian Foster, the top running back, and hopefully they'll pull the big upset against Baltimore.
Ooh.
So Claire, you get 2 picks.
Claire's gonna
Draft as you please.
You took my pick. I really wanted Arian Foster,
Yeah, I know you did. He's the only good running back left.
but I'm gonna go with Darren Sproles, and I'm gonna go with Victor Cruz.
Oh, a little surprised with Cruz there. I thought you would have taken somebody else there for sure. I will go ahead and draft with my next draft pick. I'll take Wes Welker, wide receiver for the New England Patriots. Robbie, it's your
Good
draft
pick,
pick.
Phil.
I'm gonna take.
Thanks, Dad.
Let's see. I'm gonna take Gronkowski.
Rob Gronkowski. Which one, Rob or
Rob.
Dave Gronkowski? Or not Dave.
They're not in the playoffs.
What's the other Gronkowski?
Chris Gronkowski, Jack Gronkowski.
Okay, so Robbie takes the first tight end off the board, Gronkowski.
Team's awesome.
Robbie, are you sure you want Gronkowski? He only scores 1 touchdown a game.
He's taking a player off of every team and hoping that he can have one player at the Super Bowl.
Seriously, big money's involved in this.
Doug, you get 2 draft picks once again.
Well, this is messed up because I need to diversify at some point. And
It's getting pretty exciting.
the next 2 players are on the same team I already have, so that's really no good.
You just take the
Let's
entire
see.
Packers team. I think you'd probably be doing pretty good for yourself, though.
Yeah, you're right. You know, that there is something to be said about that. So I might just...
Would you like me to make the selections for you? You want Finley and James Starks by any chance? Or Greg Jennings.
Let me just go with Greg Jennings for now.
All right, that's solid.
And I'm not going to take them all from the Green Bay, even though I know they'll win their first game. I need to diversify a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit of I'll take a little bit of this other team here called San Fran,
Yeah.
because they're going to have a. I'm going to take Frank Gore off your hands
Ooh, that's a good pick.
to start off the 4th round. Now I have
All right.
a running back.
Robbie Gronkowski, it's your pick.
I am going to
So you
take
need running back, receiver, kicker, and defense.
Marcus Colston.
What team is he on?
Saints, the team that's going to
All
beat
right.
San Fran this week.
Clara somehow took Cruz over Colson. I can't quite understand, but
Just don't get it.
I can have all Saints,
I think
guys.
she
Come
choked.
on.
No, you're not going to get this guy because I'm going to draft him, Jimmy Graham.
Oh, you got my pick again.
That wasn't going to last. There's no way.
Oh, I forgot about the tight end.
Yeah, but that's okay, Doug. You can still get Finley, unless Clara drafts. But then she's got the whole Saints Green Bay Packers conflict.
All right, I'm going to take, as my second running back, I'm going to take the guy who's going to be against the worst defense in the NFL right now. Well, one of the worst. I'm going to take McGahee.
Okay.
And then
McGahee.
I'm going to take Jermichael Finley.
Finley, the tight end, Doug. She stole your guy. So now
That's
you can
not
wait till the
fair.
last round to draft a tight end if you want to. But I'm sure I didn't need to tell you that. Okay, now it's my pick. I am very excited to announce my next draft pick will be. Interesting. He's gone. Don't want him, gone. My next draft pick will have to be gone. This is pretty much a buzzkill right here. I will draft Pierre Thomas with that pick.
Not Ivory.
No, I don't want him.
Okay.
Thanks for the warning. I'll take Pierre Thomas. I watched the last game. All right, Rob, you need running backs and receivers, kickers and defenses.
I think I'm going to take a shot in the dark here and get Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
Okay. We don't use his nickname on the show at all, so we'll just go with Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. All right, Doug, you got 2 picks. You need a running back, a tight end, a kicker, and a defense.
Do I really need a kicker and a defense?
It is required. In fact,
Okay.
you might as well just draft
All
him
right,
out.
well, I'll tell you what. For the tight end, I'm going to go ahead and take. I'll take Vernon Davis for that.
Okay, you could have waited to the last round to do that, of course, but that's fine. Good pick.
Now I'm going to wait the last round for a kicker and defense.
All right, then draft your running back then, son.
What do I need, a running back too?
Running back, kicker, and defense.
I don't like them. I don't like any of them. But you know what? This time of year, even though Starks has only scored 1 touchdown, I'm confident he may score another. So I'm going to go for James Starks.
Yeah, well, you have to with all those other Packers. That's a smart pick for you, Doug, in that situation. Nobody else wanted
Packers
Robbie?
plus.
I'm sorry, Doug, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Starks, you're likely to get 2 or 3 good solid games out of them for sure.
I have a wide receiver.
You have a wide receiver, kicker, and defense situation that you need to address. You need to see the list of. You have the cheat sheet in front
Yeah, I
of
do.
you.
I'm pondering my next move.
Who are the guys you're looking at right now?
Some Giants players.
Okay. The Houston defense is available. That's a good one. So you have the Giants players that are available. You can
I'm
go
going to take
with
Andre Johnson,
Andre
Nice.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay.
just in case.
He's with the Houston Texans. It's a good solid pick, and if you get the upset against
If
the
they
Ravens,
win, yeah.
that's a good solid pick right there.
Yeah.
I would have been hard pressed not to take that guy. Since you did go ahead and draft him, I will go with. Man, I don't like any of these guys left at all. So due to that fact that I'm not really excited about any of these receivers, although Claire's probably looking at this guy, so I'm probably going to have to go and draft him anyway. Now I'll let her take him if she wants, but no, I'll go ahead and take Lance Moore. Just get him over with. And I'll worry about my kicker and defense at some later point in time. So, Claire, you have 2 picks. You need a receiver, a kicker, and a defense.
All right, I'm going to take the birthday baby and take Demarius Thomas.
Okay, your best buddy over there.
That's funny.
Kicker and a defense, and for defense,
You have Breeze, Sproles, McGahee, Cruz, Thomas, and Finley so far.
all right, so I think I'm going to take, since Baltimore's defense is pretty tough, and I don't think the Houston's going to get into the end zone that much, I'm going to take Neil Rackers.
Okay,
Ooh.
Neil Rackers. She takes the first pillow fighter
Yep.
off the board, and she must think that Houston's going to advance to the Super Bowl. You can get 3 games out of Rackers.
All right.
So
Decent.
I'm kind of hedged here with a bunch of Patriots.
I have Houston beating Baltimore.
I like that.
I like
pick.
that too.
So-
That's
Let's,
the only thing
we'll
we
get to
agree
our
on.
predictions here. Sure. Are we all really going to pick Houston as a big
I
upset?
don't know.
over
We'll get to that later.
guess.
Let's finish the mock draft. It's not
Okay,
just,
I'm going to take Gostkowski then. I like to put all my eggs in one basket and see what happens.
I am
Robbie.
going to take, man,
Kicker and defense.
you know what? I'm going to go with Mason Crosby.
Okay, Mason Crosby, pillow fighter for the Green Bay Packers. All right,
That's not
Doug, now
fair,
you have,
Robbie. You know I want all Packers.
I know you did. I'm sorry.
Doug, you can round out your starting lineup. Be the first one to round out your starting lineup here. I know you always like to do that.
What do I?
Defense.
Kicker
I
and
want
defense.
Lester too. Kicker and defense. Well, you guys already took my pillow fighter,
We did. Crosby's
so
gone,
you know that's not cool.
and so is the Gostkowski.
You know what? I'll take this guy Casey. I heard some good things about him. I don't know much about him, but I heard good things about him. And then for the defense, let me look at my defensive chart real quick.
There's only
Wow.
8 teams in the playoffs, Doug.
Yeah, but only 3 of them have good defenses. So let's see. San Fran, Baltimore, or Houston. I'll take the Baltimore home field advantage, I guess.
Okay, Doug is with Baltimore. I like the pick.
I'll go with San Francisco's defense.
Damn, that's who I wanted.
Yep, I got him.
You do have him now, so I can't go with Baltimore. So
Patriots, huh? Or Texans.
Or
Ooh.
Denver.
Oh, God. They're going to be shredded.
man, this is terrible.
Tom Brady's going to eat them alive.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. I can't believe that you guys just took Baltimore and San Fran in front of me. I do like Houston. I guess I'm going to... They did score a defensive touchdown last week, so I'm kind of inclined to go with Houston in this one and roll my dice with them. So I really don't want the Saints all that much. I really don't want the Patriots all that much. And I have Arian Foster, so it would behoove me to take the Houston defense. So Clary can finish off the draft with the defense of your choosing.
Okay, I just want to say you think Houston's going to not go far, so you're making fun of me for my Rackers, then you take Houston D.
I didn't have the chance
Come
to
on,
take
Phil.
Rackers. I would have definitely been drafting him.
I'm gonna go
You beat me
with.
to
I just do not like Alex Smith at all. I don't like their receivers. I think the only good player on the team is Frank Gore. I'm gonna go with Saints D.
Okay, the New Orleans Saints defense is the last pick. Okay, so just to summarize these picks real quick, Clara has drafted Drew Brees, Darren Sproles, Willis McGahee, Victor Cruz, Demaryius Thomas, and Jamarco Finley, Neil Rackers, and the Saints defense. Phil's got Tom Brady, Arian Foster, Pierre Thomas, Wes Welker, Lance Moore, Jimmy Graham, the Ghostkowski, and the Houston defense. Robbie has Eli Manning, Ray Rice, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, Marquez Colston, Andre Johnson. Looks pretty solid, Robbie. Gronkowski, top tight end with a hot girlfriend. Mason Crosby, and the San Francisco defense. And then Doug has got a bunch of Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, Frank Gore, James Starks, Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, Vernon Davis, Casey Kicker, and Baltimore defense. So there you have it. That is our mock fantasy draft. Good job, everybody. We'll see what happens, and I'm sure it'll be a great prize for the winners. It probably involves alcohol and snack foods. So let's move on to the matchups this weekend, you guys. Let's start off with the Saturday matchups. And Clara, you bet heavily on the New Orleans Saints with your draft. So tell us what you think about the New Orleans Saints and San Francisco 49ers matchup. Let's talk about that one.
I pretty much think there's no way in hell that San Francisco is going to beat New Orleans. I think Drew Brees is the best quarterback in the NFL. I've said it a bunch of times. I don't have faith in San Francisco like you do. And you think that San Francisco is going to go to the Super Bowl. So this will be fun. We're going to watch the game together on Saturday, too.
We're definitely going to watch that game together. It's going to be really a lot of fun. Doug, will you please tell Clara why she's wrong?
Well, if you want to just look at some stats here for a minute, of course, the Doug Power rankings came out late this year. But there are offensive rankings and defensive rankings for the teams that are in the playoffs. And this is their overall NFL ranking. The number one defensive team in the NFL is already out of the playoffs because they got schooled by Tebow. They got shocked and awed, shocked and surprised. They didn't think Tebow could pass. Well, guess what? He can if you ignore him. So Pittsburgh's out. The number 2, number 3, and number 4 defenses in the NFL are still in the playoffs, meaning San Fran, Baltimore, and Houston. Defense can play a big part in these playoffs, as we all know. The worst team, by the way, in the playoffs is still Denver, and they're still in the playoffs because they knocked out Pittsburgh. Denver, the worst offensive team in the playoffs and the second worst defensive team in the playoffs. It's definitely Denver was the worst team in the playoffs. They're still in it for now, not for long, after they try to match points with Tom Brady and so forth. But I'm going to tell you why this is a game right now. Because of the fact it's pretty simple.
Okay.
Well, by that logic, Pittsburgh being the number one defense, lost to Denver. New Orleans is the worst defense in San Francisco, so clearly New Orleans should win. And I just want to say that I think Redskins, if they were in that division, maybe have gone to the playoffs too if I was playing San Francisco, Seattle, and Arizona in my division. There you have it. New Orleans are going to crush.
All right. I mean, I like the Saints in this game. Best quarterback in the NFL, best offense in the last 8 games. I think that they just really come to play in San Francisco. And Alex Smith is not he's a good quarterback and all. This is his first NFL playoff game.
They're going to be running the ball, though, Robbie. This is a team that runs the ball for their success.
Yeah, but not. Have you looked at the Saints' defense the last 7 or 6 games? They've limited rushes. They limited guys to 7 yards rushing.
Do you see what teams are playing?
Yeah, but the Detroit Lions couldn't run the ball against
Frank
them.
Gore hasn't been 100% healthy this year either.
Exactly.
And they've been resting him for the last month of the season.
He goes out, which I don't agree with. Which I don't agree with at all.
Okay.
So I think that I
don't agree with resting. I don't agree with resting the offense that much either because they haven't. They're not ready.
I both agree with the Saints. I mean, you can take the Niners.
The 49ers have risen to every challenge they faced this year,
Okay.
and I know darn well that the Saints do not travel well. They lose. They lost to Seattle last year, and they've lost to terrible teams like Tampa Bay and the Rams this year too. So I'm going to roll with that. Let's move on to the next matchup, guys. We have about 3 minutes left to get through 3 games, so about a minute per game. Let's go ahead and move on to the next matchup of Saturday night, which will be Denver, New England. Something tells me you're going to go with the
Tim
Denver
Tebow.
Broncos.
I am going with him. If he plays like he did against the Steelers, everybody had the Steelers winning. Maybe I don't think they're going to win as much as I would like to, but I'm hoping they're going to win.
You're hoping they're going to win. You're praying they're going to win, right?
I'm going for Denver. This weekend I've never had as much fun rooting for a team that wasn't even my team. I mean, it was a blast. He had awesome game.
I jumped
So
on the
I'm
bandwagon too. I was rooting for those
I'm
guys.
going for Tim Tebow.
Cool. I'm on that bandwagon. I picked the Patriots. They're going to win 27-10.
I wouldn't be that close.
Tebow, I don't think he's going to get it done in Foxborough.
With one of the worst defenses in the
played,
NFL?
Yeah, the last time they played each other,
They're going to
what,
lose
you have 3
27 to
fumbles
10?
And
Okay.
2 interceptions?
Okay.
I'll
Doesn't
take my
matter.
chances.
The Patriots win and outscore anybody. I mean,
And
that's just what they do.
Tebow's best friends with God. So he has that going for him.
Okay, good. Last time the Patriots played a football game, they scored 49 unanswered points.
Yeah, exactly. The last
So
time.
I'm
They
going to
did
take
get
my
off to an
chances
early lead.
with New England beating Tebow.
All right.
Okay. On to the next
Bring it.
matchup, Houston and Baltimore. Now, this is a game that I think, unbeknownst to any of us, we all end up liking the sleeper road team here. But Houston and Baltimore, I think this is a great matchup. Either way, it's a pretty evenly matched game. It should be a great game, just like it was in the regular season.
Yeah, I think TJ Yates has been playing a lot better. So he definitely has his feet underneath him after that first playoff game. Goes into Baltimore with Arian Foster, Ben Tate, and that arsenal, especially with Andre Johnson. And it looks like they might actually have Owen Daniels playing in that game.
The 2 best running backs in the NFL are being showcased
Pretty
in
much.
this game. It's pretty
Ray
awesome.
Rice and Arian Foster.
I'd like to go to this game.
And Joe Flacco, though. I mean,
Joe Flacco, if he wants to have a great game, he will have a great game. But if he wants to lose to Jacksonville and almost lose to Arizona like he did in the regular season, then they're not going to win. So pretty much I think it's all up to Joe Flacco.
You have to look at Houston as the whole of what they've done this season. If they hadn't lost Matt Schaub, if Andre Johnson hadn't been injured most of the season, let's face it, they would have been a 13-win too and competing for that top seed, number 1 seed in the AFC.
Doug, I think like what you were saying earlier, though, this is a team that kind of wrapped things up earlier within their division. They kind of just took it easy and coasted into the playoffs like they were able to do. I mean, this is a team that's ready to go hardcore in the playoffs now that they're here and relatively healthy, with the exception of Schaub.
Absolutely.
They're ready to do some damage. Okay, guys, we have about 45 seconds here to get the last matchup. The Giants and Green Bay here. Does anybody see that the Giants, I mean, this is a team that has played a very close game. Can the Giants pull the upset here, guys? Go ahead.
I think Green Bay Packers win landslide.
Even though they only lost by 3 points last time they played in the regular season, I'm going Packers all the way.
Doug, what do you think? I mean, you drafted a bunch of Packers. Clearly, you don't see the Giants winning here.
Yeah, it's clearly going to be about 48-24, I think, in this game.
It's going to be a way higher scoring game than that. Somebody's going to win 49-45, and I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm going to take the Giants in the upset here. Why not? They can do it. It's the playoffs. Anything in the NFL can happen. Doug, thanks for being on the show. Good to see you again. Robbie, good to see you again. Clara, good to see you again. We'll see each other on Sunday for the NFL games. Everybody, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week on Fantasy Sports Review. Goodbye, everybody.